welcome, Dog Fight Sports, live from Frank and Tony's Hockey Finals. Florida. Avoiding disaster down in Florida. Wow.
Wow. Our panel at the first intermission, we all chose Edmonton, and we were all wrong.
Yep. Even Ed.
I wasn't even on the show, but he could be wrong if we all chose Edmonton.
Uh-huh. Wow.
All right, so it's good to have some fresh faces on the panel.
Exactly.
Carrie,
Oh,
what
thank
do
you
you
much.
want your sports name to be?
Oh, I think I'm just going to go. I think what my new nickname is Mama Cass.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mama Cass.
Yeah, I think it's going to
right.
carry over to quite a few different broadcasts.
Yeah.
Hot Scott, Mama Cass, and Nick New Name, here we are.
Excellent.
Man, I wish it was down in Florida tonight. That looks like a heck of a celebration going on there. And they came back. Shit took it all the way to 7.
Oh, yeah.
Got beat up for 3 games, and they rallied.
I believe Florida has quite a few cup wins, if I'm correct.
Quite a few 0 Cup wins. They got their first ones today.
Nah, it's a joke. Trying. Weren't they the Lightnings or something before?
That
that
I
was a
don't
Tampa
know.
Bay.
Oh, that's Tampa Bay
Yeah,
Lightnings.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
So I am totally off on this. Don't mind me, kids.
look at you acting like you know about hockey and shit.
I know there's 3 periods, and I know that there is score a goal.
Oh, you know enough. Quit being modest. We're all experts.
It's time for your hippie joke.
Oh, yeah? Okay. What's the difference between a hockey player and a hippie chick?
What's that?
A hockey player takes a shower after 3 periods.
I've been to the ledges. I think I agree.
Oh, my.
That is actually funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our hockey knowledge.
That's the extent of our hockey knowledge. Ooh, I had my laptop earlier, but now I don't even have it, so I have even less
that's all
hockey
right.
knowledge.
That's all right.
We're good.
Yeah.
Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know. You score 2 goals, the other team scores 1, you get to raise the Stanley Cup.
Right.
Exactly.
Excellent defense at the end. So, even Gary was saying how Evan had to go to open that, just last dish resort.
It
Game on
doesn't-
the line.
It doesn't happen often. I've actually know there's a few tournaments or games that they have actually had goalies score goals, leaving their net open.
Yeah, actually, in this series, I was doing a little bit of research before I came on the show, and I did see in this series there was an open net goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the goalie passed it off. He actually got an assist for the Edmonton Oilers,
Nice.
and when somebody shot the puck all the way down to the other side, open goal, popped it right in. About the easiest goal you can make. But sometimes in an act of desperation, you need to do everything you can possibly do. Pull the goalie, get that essentially a power play, and get back in the game. And they unfortunately could not do it.
Yeah, the options are running out now. And it's kind of difference between that and soccer. If you miss the net, it goes out. And then it's like essentially a goal kick.
But actually, in soccer, I've actually seen it in the World Cup a couple times where the goalie has had to leave the net to help assist to be the back guy so they can get their win. I mean, it's not uncommon with those kind of games.
Yeah, but what good thing about hockey is and stuff, you can have that ricochet going on, so it still could be a live puck, So that's the good thing about it. If you miss the net, it still could be open, depending upon position.
Depending on icing.
Yes, position of the players, icing and stuff.
Yes, because icing is a rule that I'm still not 100% clear on because when I was down in Nashville, they were trying to explain icing to me. They were talking about the red lines and the blue lines, and I did not know what the hell they were talking about.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
There's always a field of position which you have to stay in, Nick.
Yeah, it's just
it's like you could get a 3-pointer in the 2-point line. It's kind of similar.
Right. It's kind of like, kind of like offsides. It's an intricate rule, but, you cross the thing. The puck crosses
Threshold.
Right. So it gives people a distinct advantage. And, because a lot of that comes in with the sub in, sub outs and stuff, you get to jump on it. So, you can't be behind. It's one of them things. It's real easy.
Well, I was just having fun watching the game. I haven't watched a real hockey game since I've been international because I was basically forced to watch it because they didn't have that much sports going on down there. So my eyes were glued to the TV. I didn't know what the hell was going on back down there. But this time I did research up a little bit, and I saw a little bit about the history of the teams, and this is a historic day because they are at a Game 7. They came back from the 3-0 deficit, so they made it interesting. Even us sports fans of a different caliber can enjoy this game, even though we don't know all the ins and outs. We can just appreciate how hard they fought, and the whole game, it looked like they were really going maximum effort. They're going, flying fast and doing a lot of passes, doing a lot of checks, smash them into the glass, which is allowed in hockey. And at the end of the day, don't really know the gravity of the situation, but
it's a winner take all. That's it. There's no more tomorrow.
Can I tell you?
Take all.
Can I really tell you what excites me? Pittsburgh wasn't in it. There was no Penguins this year. Woo, 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 woo. I'm just being an asshole, but I am loving it.
Well, it was a historic day because Florida apparently have never won a championship.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where this Florida team is based out of. We were talking about Tampa Bay earlier. Is this
Florida?
Is this Miami, Florida? Is this what we're talking about?
I don't know. I guess I could Google it, and I didn't. Just too much stuff going on today.
Any place in Florida, they got their championship.
Florida.
And Canada has to wait again because not only this Canadian team, but no Canadian team has won since 1993.
Folks, we know about hockey.
Oh, excellent. I did not know that.
Yeah, this particular team.
Should I?
The Baseball Whisperer was telling me this team last won in 1990, but no Canadian team has won since 1993. So it would have been a historic day for Canada. And also, one little tidbit that I've been told, and I'm not sure if this is a true fact or a factoid, that NHL, the N in NHL, the national, stands for Canadian National Hockey Team, and the American teams have been an add-on. So the American teams have been winning every year since 1993.
That's wonderful.
History's pretty interesting, but most of the teams are based out of America. There's only a handful of teams out of, like Canada. So,
Canada?
Yeah. Canada land.
Canada.
But they have theirs, eventually. That's where, that's a strong, it's a big sport up in Canada.
So. I'll tell you a quick little tidbit. When I was a wee little lad, I had to do a 6th grade project, and it was a book report. I didn't know what to choose, so I chose to read a hockey almanac, of all things, and that's not very conducive to a book report. So I was reading about the last time the Toronto Maple Leafs had won the Cup, and it had been so long ago, even though I was doing this report in 6th grade, when it was probably about 1990-something. So it had already been a long time since the Toronto Maple Leafs had won, and they have not won since, so the Canadian teams have been struggling mightily in this league that they call their own, and the American teams had figured out how to do indoor rinks because, back in the original days, all you had to do was find a frozen pond and a rock, and you could have a hockey game.
Right.
But now we're in this modern day of technology where we can have teams in L.A., we can have teams in Miami, or wherever this Florida team is based out of, and they can have their professional teams, even though there is no winner for them to have winter sports. So it's kind of a misnomer.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little fun fact because I had to Google it. So they're from Sunrise of Florida, which is in Broward State. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a shooting many years ago in Broward County in Florida. I actually remember I was getting off a plane, got into a car driving, and all of a sudden I see dudes with backpacks and stuff. It was at one of the schools. So this is probably a great thing for that particular county and city area to raise a little bit more,
Now, is that in southern Florida, northern Florida, the Panhandle?
It's near Miami-Dade, which is between
Miami-Dade.
West Palm and Miami.
Yeah.
So for that, it's great for,
Essentially, it's Florida. They're just doing the state. Basically it's Miami.
It's
Miami
basically
won the
Miami
hockey
area.
title.
Near Miami, I heard that.
Yeah. So, also
cool.
call out to sorry for all the families that all that happened to, and I hope you guys got through it. And as I've talked before on the cast, I'm a true believer of God, and I hope this gives a little bit more spirit to everybody in believing.
And enjoy your celebration down there tonight. Your team
Absolutely.
came back, and it looked like were going to win it in 4, but Edmonton fought back. Hats off to Edmonton. The Oilers did a really good job coming back and showed a lot of teeth and grit, but Florida hung on. They get to have the celebration.
They weather the storm literally and figuratively. They got a lot of hurricanes down there, but they weathered this storm.
Exactly. So have you guys actually, I have a question for you. Have you guys actually ever, like, ice skated before or been ice rink?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was pretty bad at it.
Yeah? So, like, what were you doing? You're ice skating, because I'm terrible at it. I'm a better roller skater than I am an ice skater.
Well, the whole secret, anytime you skate, is you got to lace them boots up heavy and hard. Otherwise, you get just like, you have a lot of slop and play in your skates. So you have to know how you're doing that. It's kind of like roller skating, the four-prong or the roller blading and stuff. It's just all about positioning and putting in balance. Basically.
Yeah, what I'm saying, though, think about this. I'm used to four wheels. They're doing on one blade. That is so much harder. I remember the first time I rode a blade, it was terrible. But I started to overcome it. I did, like I said, I have been on ice skates. I watched these guys on there stop at a dime, turn, twist. I mean, just skate through,
it's an art
flying
form.
through. It is absolutely amazing. I do not disrespect the sport at all.
Yeah, tough thing is going backwards. That's really, you got to do what you do forward, backwards, and that's a whole different set of muscle movement. It's not bad.
I was able to skate just very generally, a little bit, just trying to get on the right edge. But I gotta give a couple of shout outs to one of my grade school friends that was big into hockey way back in the day, Joe Strumlick. So if you're watching, keep on doing the hockey, keep on skating.
And
then also in college, I did a little bit of skating and had a friend come on the ice, and he was wearing his hockey blades. So Maxwell's on if you're watching.
Nice.
Hey, thanks for teaching me a little bit about skating, and I hope you're enjoying this amazing comeback that we're seeing here.
Yeah.
And I hope you're still a hockey fan. Also, another friend from college, Frank Viola. So I know he's a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. They didn't quite make it, but I think he's a general hockey fan. He can appreciate it much more than we can. We're just watching as casual observers, and we're watching the historic day. But really big hockey fans. I'm sure they're having a great time watching this historic comeback, and they're having their context as well, because they know what it means to Florida. They know what it meant to the Edmonton Oilers to come back from this deficit, and paint the picture of history, but not quite make the full comeback.
Well, I do know with the youth, especially here in the Cleveland market, with a bunch of our high schools with Gilmore and University Heights and a bunch of other things, tons of tournaments that happen from late spring to early fall into the winter months. I'm just waiting for some women's teams to actually develop. A lot of young ladies are into this. They love it. Tournaments after tournaments. You know what? I would love to see it. If this is a desire, some girls teams to come out of this. Athletics, because I'll tell you what, I know you have to have a great core, strong legs, just like most sports, but it would be fun to actually see something develop out of this. Maybe some women's teams.
Well,
what do you guys think about that?
We saw the WNBA come up, and they're really getting really big in the national media. So there's a lot of opportunity for women's sports of all calibers, of all sports, to be showing their mettle and showing that they can, they can ball, they can play as well.
Well, actually, Kerry, check out the U.S. Women's Olympic hockey team. You'll be very impressed what they have done.
Yes.
They have done quite a wonder.
They do. And most of those girls play with guys, though, but I would love to see that they, again, being female, I'm not against women feeling with males, but whole different caliber. I've done it. But I think it'd be great to see more youth teams with more.
It's all the
females.
market for hockey, too. Some markets are bigger than others. So we're in the Cleveland market, and, hockey, is
it's actually
not
huge.
where we want. It is pretty big in the area, but not
overall
where we kind of want it to be at a professional level or whatever.
Exactly.
And another thing about it, getting back to what we were talking about before, when you're skating and using that, a lot of balance technique when you're on them skates. Sometimes you have that what they call, the hockey stick. Helps you balance and move, and you can use the puck and stuff, and that actually accelerates your action for skating and being on ice and all that. So if you're ever going to do that, don't be afraid. It doesn't have to be an actual hockey stick, but it actually helps keep your balance.
Now, what do you think about the women's skating sports as in hockey versus figure skating? Because I feel like the women have an edge on figure skating.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, overall in figure skating, there are some men out there who have done beautiful pirouettes and everything else on the skates. I will not deny. I think every sport has its own uniqueness to it.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own perfection of what they can do. Everybody has their own style and everything else. And people actually have what they feel most comfortable doing, right? So let's just go down the road of sports,
Our
right?
beautiful host at Breaking Tony's.
Yay! But like, just break it down. It's what somebody fits, right?
Yeah, and then the Olympic sports too is like they will have like the male female things and stuff. My favorite ice sport is when it comes to skating is speed skating. Is nothing like that when it is like almost like track and field on skates.
Oh yeah,
these frickers crews. I mean, you're talking about on skates.
I'll take it.
These people go fast. They go fast on them skates. And then, like the speed skating. Oh God Almighty! And the sprints and so if you ever get the chance to watch the Winter Olympics with the speed skating people, amazing.
Well,
amazing duration.
What is it? The Summer Olympics is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Are you guys excited for the Summer Olympics?
I enjoy all the Olympics, and here's why. Because you get people who love something, excel in something. As many countries all get to come together as athletes. It is so beautiful.
Spirit of competition.
It's so beautiful. And
the opening ceremonies are
oh my God,
awesome.
Heartwarming.
Yeah, the parade of athletes. It's like my favorite part of the Summer Olympics. All of them get to go out and walk out and represent their nation. Like here standing up on it.
And what I love about it the most, these people aren't making $30 million, $40 million. People have sponsors.
Yeah.
They have to work super hard.
And they have to qualify.
And they have full-time jobs and families.
And they have to qualify.
Yes, and they have to qualify. I
many of the
find it absolutely amazing.
One of the biggest things that impresses me is when they're doing the swimming. They're doing the diving, and they're doing like all different types of swimming events. Like that's something that I could never do. I can never swim that fast. Or swimming as fast as the dolphin could. So I get impressed with that.
So many unique events, and just look through the whole roster. I recommend for the Olympics, just look through the whole roster of every event, even something that you don't know what it is or know what it means. Just look up a few of the things on, look through the internet and see what each of these events have to offer. You will be impressed by so much of the competition. Table tennis, it's so many things.
So I have a question for you guys. Where is it being hosted this year? Because I'm sorry, I've been quite busy and I haven't been keeping up with all my media.
France.
France.
Paris, France.
Le French. Oh, so we have champagne coming our way. Woo!
My children need wine.
Okay. They also have brie, which is one of my favorite.
I'm probably
cheeses.
wrong. I just made it up.
No, you're right.
I know it's.
They're starting those running competitions. You have to wait for the sound of the gun to start it.
Yeah. Get moving. Go run, mother. Just try some silly voice.
I think what the whole thing is, the whole lighting of the torch has been going on.
Yeah, the opening ceremony.
The opening ceremony. Everybody gets to be proud of themselves and feel so loved. And as the countries are there, and it reminds me of why we should be uniformed as people and not segregated.
And pride, and it's
pride.
Like,
oh my God.
And then the athletes, you know what I mean, and how they get along. It's the spirit of competition. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Everybody, that's what draws sports together. I recommend anybody look in every year increments and just pick a year, any random year, and watch the parade of athletes. You will not regret it. You'll be hooked.
Yeah, they're all there. They're all there to have a fun time. They're there to dance.
I represent my country.
I think it's also great the arraignment or range of the ages.
And they have themes, and it's like you think the Super Bowl halftime show is cool. I'll give the edge to
the ending ceremony is amazing.
The like just the opening ceremony, just the anticipation of it, and the parade of athletes. Check it out.
You feel like it's pretty awesome?
Yeah, I do. The dedication.
Proud of you folks. You worked hard to get there, and I just love people just getting out there and being able to just experience this and check it out. Hey, can you do that funny voice?
The funny voice?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Can you do the baby voice? Or
the baby
voice?
One of the
baby
two.
Voice.
So, we're over here as they're holding up the Stanley Cup. I am so excited for Florida! Edmonton sucks. Edmonton, you can get it next year or 28 years from now. I wish it were in Florida. We can party with them.
Next year, it's Florida's time.
That was good.
Yeah, we got
good.
the Olympics. It's once every 4 years, but we had the hockey. We don't know that much about, but we got to enjoy the game. And what do you guys think about baseball? How have we been doing for baseball?
Loving it. We're the Cleveland market. The Guardians are absolutely rocking it.
Yeah.
All-star voting. I want everybody to get on there and just vote for a couple of our boys who actually deserve it. We're talking about Quan, Fry, Ramirez.
Yes, I would love to talk about Quan for a second.
Sure.
We'll go for it.
Yeah,
leadoff hitter.
Quan, leadoff hitter. He's batting almost 400%, which has only happened twice in my memory. It was twice in my memory because Nomar Garciaparra came close to 400, but didn't quite break the barrier.
Yeah.
And then the one way longer ago was that Ted Williams.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. Yeah, they went through the whole list of them. There's a nice shit ton of them, but none in this modern era. Like in our modern era, George Bragg came close and all that bullshit. But, Quan, he's like both sides of the ball, leadoff hitter, doing fantastic. And I'm not going to let the cart jump the horse, but this dude, sign him if you can. Sign him.
Now, Quan, so unfortunately we don't have two parts of our heavy hitter baseball panel here, but I posted something in the group chat and posted it publicly as well, that even though Quan has been so fantastic, that maybe we should consider having a different leadoff batter. Because I saw a statistical analysis that said even though your leadoff hitter should be speedy and have a great average, there's another way to do it. Because there's this thing called the 3 true outcomes in baseball. That baseball has been gravitating towards strikeouts, home runs, and walks.
Well,
so if baseball has been gravitating towards those 3 outcomes, then you don't need someone particularly to steal bases, so you no longer need someone super speedy in the leadoff department. You need someone with a high on-base percentage, which includes walks, and a high slugging percentage as well. So Quan, even though he has been the prototypical, the best you could possibly imagine leadoff hitter, now it comes into doubt, maybe we should put somebody else in the leadoff spot. What do you think about that?
I kind of disagree because when you got your leadoff hitter, especially, on the road and at home, you have to set the tempo, and Quan does. He'll sit there and battle, and he sets the number 2 up. He sets 3 up, which typically Jose. Got to keep him at the leadoff. He is the true leadoff hitter. He's the best thing we had since Kenny Lofton. I'm just going to be honest with you. That dude needs to be the leadoff. I know the statistical analysis and all that bullshit, but his power game for Quan this year has stepped up. He is hitting more home runs, and he's playing great at the position that they brought him in to do. So why fuck up anything that's already working?
So I'm not a big
fuck the analysis
baseball
on that.
knowledge person, but I will tell you, momentum
Yep.
is
Bingo.
90% of
Bingo.
why people succeed. And if you have someone creating momentum from the beginning, continue.
It's contagious. That's why
absolutely.
I give a shit about the stats. That dude's a natural leadoff. He sets the tempo for the team. He's got the balls to walk out there first to hit against anybody they bring up to him, whether they faced him or not. Stick with what's working. And
also strategy-wise, it's
above
smart.
average speed, stealing bases, making ball contact. You go look at his walks. He makes contact with the baseball.
But you look at all your pitchers.
He's
going to hit
much.
against all your pitchers,
he
right?
Works them too.
He's the guy that starts it. So no matter what pitcher you have in
what you
place,
need.
he's like, bam, I'm doing it.
When you're
who's
batting
the first man out?
You're batting almost 400. It's hard to get away from him. I just came up with this.
Why would you move him?
Well, because you want.
Where has he been batting? Why would you move him?
Well, because you want somebody with the highest on-base percentage.
Well,
now, he may have the highest on-base percentage, but I have not checked because he's batting 400, so he's probably got the highest on-base percentage, but I don't know how much he walks. Now, basically, the theory is
he makes contact. He doesn't strike out much. He's a great contact hitter. He sets the tempo. He'll work a pitcher deep. He'll slow him down.
He startles the pitcher.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
so
that is the key. The
one
startle or the banger.
Yes, okay.
Like, whatever you want to torment him.
Don't move.
That's what you need to do.
That's one of the things I saw in the theory. You want your best batter. Basically, just look at your whole team. Find your best batter and put him first.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get the most at bats.
Yeah,
and
that's,
you're right. The pitcher is going to have to pitch to him because it's the first batter.
Yep.
So he's going to get on base, and he's going to maybe even hit a double or a home run.
Yeah, that's the
in
whole
different
theory.
cases. But we're looking for somebody who's the best batter on the team. So do you consider Quan the best batter on the team?
Well, yeah. I mean, pure contact, best batter, power. You take everything in the average. Definitely Ramirez. But see, the point is like you got to get people on base because when you bring up your 3 and 4 hitters, or your cleanup hitters, that'll produce more runs because those are the heavy hitters. Or you got your speedsters on first. That's the whole theory behind it, and that's why you want a guy like Quan out there. Best batter on the team, obviously, is Ramirez. In my opinion, but there's contact hitters, there's all sorts of types of hitters. So I'm talking all around. You talk about like all around. Yeah, obviously it's Ramirez. That's why they paid him. That's why he's here. I think
Ramirez is only hitting about 200.
So the first guy's up hitting
hits.
400, 200. Let's think about it. We're going with Ramirez.
And what's their record?
He's going for
Home run.
Home run, right?
Yep.
Yes.
But guess what? What wins games at the end result? Base hits.
Yeah. So
You got more people on base. One person gets up, fully loaded. Where we go?
See that's
strategy.
That was my theory before today.
When?
That I was looking at their lineup and they were like basically stratifying their lineup. They're putting their best hitters all throughout the lineup as opposed to putting them all in a row.
Bingo.
So I was basically like, let's put all your best hitters in a row. Your best chance to score because
negative.
Right. I've been bitching about that for
okay.
years. You got to spread it out. You got to get on base. It's a scrap match. You got to score runs from every. They become a much more dangerous team. I like the direction they're heading. So you look at this where I'm looking at, like especially the Guardians right now, and they're trying to find weaknesses in the game. And then, like the starting pitching, right? That's supposed to be your stronghold, but the injuries and all that.
I'm interested to hear your opinions on the batting because, now I feel like we don't have the same ideas in our heads. I want to hear what your ideas are towards the batting.
I think a lot of it is like there's a lot of new bats coming up there, and they're twisting and turning, and they're figuring it out as a team that the hitting, coaching and everything is working this very well. There's some good plug-and-play players in there that are not the same people as last year. I'm just wondering if they're going to figure it out. When's the bottom going to drop like everybody's thinking?
Yeah.
And we're at the point here in the season, that this bottom ain't dropping out. We're already like, a week ahead in ball games from the, for a playoff run, like from the Royals. We're already about 7 up on them. We got 7 games over them, so we're a week ahead of baseball.
Well, I get that, but in my mind, it's like the conventional wisdom. Like,
let me help
I'm a child.
Let me help you.
I'm a child of the 90s. So
okay, let me help you here.
We go 96, 97, 98. Where we
go?
go?
There we go. 94 through 2001.
Right.
That's the era. You put all your best hitters all in a row, so you can
steroids.
So you can terrorize the opposing team. And so when you have your best hitters in a row, you get the best chance to get on base and then come in. And then you have your lower part of the lineup, and they're like, all right, they're not going to do much. But when your core of the lineup comes in, that's your best chance to get on base and bring them in.
Yeah.
But now we're in a situation that I noticed that circa a couple of months ago, I'm not sure if it's the same now, that you spread them out, but I don't understand. If you spread them out, how can you get people on base and bring the runs in if your best players are all spread out?
Well, it's like true students of the game, so they're learning. The game has evolved from where it was back then. So now people are trying to, they call them 5-tool players, 4-tool players. These are people that can do multiple things, rather well or above average. So these people become more valuable to a club. So they're putting people in lineups, and especially if they'll study people. If you've been there 5 years, they study ways to pitch at you and try to get you out. And they know your tendencies, hence the shifts and stuff that they've
Can't do the
eliminated
shift
and all
anymore.
that. Yeah, but you can still know where they're going to hit. People know what's going on, especially the major league level because they do that much research. But the Guardians are bringing a lot of tool talent people over there. They don't have all their tendencies yet. They're experiencing them, and they're putting these people in different spots and positions to succeed, which is very valuable.
I'm interested
How
in
long will it
Carrie's
last?
aspect of this.
So I'm going to look at back. Every coach does video review, no matter at what level it's at today. Okay, so look at it. Let's look at the Browns.
Okay.
Brought in our backup quarterback, did really good, right? Guess what? They caught on to what he was doing.
Right.
They knew the plays, knew the strategy, and guess what? We got shut down. Here's the thing I like about baseball is if you have the little guy that can get on first base and runs like a tiger or whatever. I don't know.
A gazelle.
A gazelle. It was where it was.
Kenny Lofton type of player.
Yeah, Kenny Lofton, exactly. Let's look back at that. You had Albert Bell. He could never just get to a base. He was all or nothing. He was not fast enough to get there, but he could hit. But if you had a Lofton on base or whoever else, he hits out of the park. Now you got strategy.
Right.
If we don't have people in position to make it there, you're not going to have that hard hitter help the team. And you have to have that too because it also messes up the strategy with the pitcher. And the reason that is good for it because the pitcher knows the hard hitters.
The pitcher knows when they can walk somebody.
They can.
Intentional
but
walk.
you never can't say like Omar gets up there back in the day, fucking cranks the ball down, and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you
you
had
have
Kenny Lofton,
to.
he was fast. You had Omer Vizquel. He was a great defender, and his average was okay.
He was okay, but when
to the meat of the order, you had the big sluggers to drive him in.
But he
That's
also
the
knew when
conventional
to
wisdom.
do what he had to do, and he did it.
And here's what it is. I'll cut right to the chase on this. It's like every situation you are, no matter where you're where you're at, who's leading off. It could be the number 6 hitter, the number 8 hitter. You have to know what you have to do. It's like details to the game and what's your job and what's your role and where are you at in the ball game. Are you comfortably ahead? You can swing freely, or do you have to manufacture runs and catch up? And how are we pitching and who's coming in for the pitching? There's a lot of what the Guardians are doing right now is attention and detail of the game. They're not making them stupid frickin' mistakes.
Right.
They're
It's just
actually
like when you have a lefty batter
functioning.
that's
Right.
super
Lefties
strong.
versus righty,
What do
okay.
they do? They bring in a lefty.
matching up.
Right.
The matchup.
It's like that's what the Guardians are doing. They're maximizing every player. They know who's out there. They know what they're capable of. They understand their strengths and weaknesses, and they try to maximize it to the best of their ability.
Well,
That's what they're doing right
To
now.
be a devil's advocate, the new age philosophy is the opposite of that. You
Correct.
basically put a slow slugger in your first position because they want the best slugger, the best person with the on-base percentage and slugging to be having the most at-bats. That's why they put them first. So that's why I'm curious to see if that is the new wave that's working.
Well, there's no rhyme
Because
or
they
reason.
gave statistical evidence that said it's working another 10% of the time. You're getting another
So what's your
percentage
slow
of
There's no
slugger
rhyme or
doing?
reason
What's
for
your
it.
slow slugger getting on base, though?
No, they're not, because what they're doing is they're walking, they're striking out, or they're getting a home run.
Okay, so let's go back to strikes. You
there's
only
no rhyme or
got
reason.
3 outs.
Yep.
Why would you create your first out on your first bat up?
Well, because they have the highest on-base percentage. So their average might be low, but they get a lot of walks. They get on base statistically higher, not Quan, because Quan's at 400%. But if there's a different team, they had someone with a great average, they don't get as many walks.
So could we
you're-
reverse that? Put your heavy slugger up first.
No.
Same
That's
thing.
exactly what
Because
they're
they're
going to
walk them, right?
They're going to walk.
It's the same
them.
theory,
Exactly. There's
correct?
So
So
many
whether-
walks. They're getting on base more on average than your best hitter with their batting average, because when you add in walks, there's so many walks.
Every
So your
team's-
best slugger is going to get a ton of home runs, a ton of walks, and a ton of strikeouts. That was the theory that they're putting forth as their first batter, as opposed to someone with the highest average who gets way less walks, gets way fewer walks and maybe even fewer strikeouts, but they get on base on average more percent of the time.
That's just throwing shit at the wall to see if it works. You know, it may or may not. That's all it is. It's like every team is playing to their strengths and weaknesses. If they're getting their asses kicked or they're below in the standards, that shit that isn't working, they're going to try something different. That's how it works. So right now what's happening with the Guardians is their stuff is working.
Exactly.
They're not making many change-ups unless they can see a way to get better and build off those change-ups.
It's kind of a fool's errand because Juan probably has the best on-base percentage in addition to the best batting percentage. So he probably is the right guy. I was just playing devil's advocate.
But he's actually a fast runner, and
He
that's
is
what
fast.
you need. So
Well, yeah,
do you
definitely.
put a slow runner on first or a fast runner? Think about that.
Right.
Because he
Well,
gets
again,
on base.
That gets again into the deep theory. And
Intelligence of the game. The
Perfect.
team is very intelligent. They're a small club. They're very well coached. So they're not making the most stupid errors. They're positioned against teams well. And those add up to wins throughout the course of the season.
Well, that's where
Excellent.
we get into a new age theory of the three true outcomes. The three true outcomes of the game are strikeout, walk, and home run. And the percentage of those outcomes has been rising rapidly.
Right. There's base hits, and there's a lot of factors in there.
There's rarely base hits that are not a home run
Well,
anymore.
doubles, stuff doesn't hit, it doesn't make it to a home run, and they either catch it, or if it doesn't, it bounces. If it's a double, you have to run intelligently. You have to tag up on the bases and stuff. There's a lot that goes into the game, and I just what I think about the Guardians is they're playing very intelligent baseball. They're doing a lot of the little things that make a difference in the game.
They're doing conventional baseball,
Yes.
which is get on base and manufacture runs.
Right.
And
They're
Perfect.
We're in a
without
league where that's becoming obsolete.
Yep,
So how can we
they're the
succeed?
They're the winningest team at
Wait a minute.
home.
Are
These
we
guys
out of the league or are we setting standard? Let's look at that. Balls
Yeah.
come at you 90 miles an hour. You hit it through the hole. Nobody can field the ball. We get on base.
So that's the
Or are we
basically
being lazy for the rest of the teams and looking for all of the ballpark?
Lazy
And I'm going to go
bastards.
lazy.
Lazy
Because
motherfuckers.
listen, in a ballpark, all you have to do walk bases. Perfect.
Right.
I'm just saying is that at any time we don't know what people's level are. But what I'm saying is if we have strategy, single base hits work.
Well, that's the kind of crux of the situation I'm asking about because I don't know the answer, but I've seen this video that says what they know the answer is. Conventional baseball is get on base, manufacture a run. That's how they've been doing it for 100 years.
Right. Score
And now
some runs.
the new age is saying, don't worry about that anymore because who cares if they steal second base? The next guy that comes up is going to hit a home run anyway.
Nah,
What do you guys
That's
think about
not
that?
true.
Yeah,
If that
because-
was the case, then we wouldn't have the games.
quit
we did.
watching
We
that
wouldn't go
bullshit.
9 innings.
Right.
And what would Willie
Nick-
Mays, Hayes say, and Babe Ruth? That's all I
Nick,
want to
quit
know.
watching that bullshit. That's all I gotta say.
Let's just look back
And
at
you
the
know
whole
what?
thing.
It was basic. You got to have a good clubhouse. You got to have structure, management all the way down. Ownership, all that, and the team chemistry has to be right. There's so many diversified players in the game.
Perfect.
The team has to work together. You have to win as a unit. You cannot succeed horse shit and let's do this analytics and put this guy here and see if it works and crap. Those are the teams that are usually getting their ass kicked. The teams that are winning, they have something that works. Not going to fuck around and put Stephen Kwan in the 8th role. That bullshit. It ain't
Yeah,
going to
put
happen.
Stephen
He's been
Kwan
laid
forward.
off. Right, that'll work.
Exactly.
Let's put our power hitter first because maybe that'll work. Bullshit. It ain't gonna happen.
That has worked for teams.
Well,
though.
I mean,
It does.
win and very rarely. It doesn't really,
But you're-
it's not sustained success.
The whole thing is
Win
your
the game.
power hitter is to take the rest of the people on the base and create
With
more
the theory
runs.
getting people on base.
Oh yeah, I agree. But look,
He who
there's
has
this
the
new
most
thing
runs
that's coming
win.
up.
It's the spirit of the game.
Well,
No.
you want the most at bats.
It's all good. Yeah, I know what you're saying. There's many different ways to skin a cat and stuff, but they use that theory a lot in the later innings. It's when they substitute some people. This guy's got some power, but he's a bench rider, but he could be your mofo power hitter at the 7th spot or some crap when the situation presents itself.
Okay, let me go back to a slightly different topic about
Cool.
our best hitters are being spread throughout the lineup.
Yeah.
They're getting fewer at bats. Like if you have your best hitters and you go like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 instead of like
It's the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
It's the
your best
production.
hitters are having fewer at bats.
It's the production, though. It's you got to put the right people in the right spaces where they're at because, when you're a double, so you got to look at it this way. You're like have your top of your lineup. There's 9 hitters, right? You got your best 4 or 5 at the front,
Okay.
right? You need some power in the back because that's where your lull is. If you can manufacture some what I call bonus runs.
Bonus
Late in the
runs.
end, right? And then what leads up? What happens at the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitter if those
Usually
people get
nothing.
on base? Who comes up? Who comes up then? Your 1, 2, 3 hitters, but you've got some people's on base. What
See,
happens
that
then?
was what we were arguing
There
about
you
a
go.
month ago
Now-
because you have like somebody good instead of 8 or 9. But now they're getting way fewer at-bats.
I agree with that. That's why when I played a lot of ball back in the day, they used to kind of stick me in the end of the lineup, especially because you used to go through the age brackets. You have like 3 years and whatever.
But then you would only get 3
when I was a
instead of
younger
4.
guy, I was at the bottom end of the lineup
Right.
because the bigger kids were there. Now I get my ass on base and they drive my ass home. Hence we win. When I got older, that was my responsibility to do that. Hence veterans and rookies in the Major League Baseball system. Think of it
so
kind of
more
that
of
way.
a veteran rookie.
They're
type
just
thing.
a balance of the people that know what they're doing running the organization, and the Guardians have been doing it damn well. I'm actually so shocked and surprised.
All the Guardians bats have been like way exceeding expectations.
Right.
Absolutely.
Why do you think
Before
that
the
is?
Why would we change that?
Clubhouse,
Why would we
consistency.
change what is happening?
Right.
And let's also look at it. People with bigger body mass, muscle, whatever, they don't need 1,000 pitches at them. They can't handle it. They're waiting for their moment, because they have a specific thing they need to do. The littler guys could probably take 30 bats. You get what I'm saying?
They could take a bunt or something.
Yeah, because they're lighter weight. They're not looking out of the ballpark.
And here's another thing to consider, too. Some of these people that are, like, call them the 6 to 9 hole hitters in the lineup, their job is to sit there and foul ball, just beat the pitcher down, make them throw, because there's a pitch count.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You want to beat this dude down.
So he gets the right
gives you
pitch.
shit, beat him down because you're
For the
like
big
not
guy.
expected to do anything anyways. If you belt a double or a home run, what a bonus! You beat that pitcher down, make him throw his damn arm out, and you just stay in the game.
Exactly.
That's the way it works. That's
So instead of 97 miles an hour and
beat
a
him down.
curveball,
You
it's
take
going to
his
land.
pitch count up
That's going to
to
be
the thing.
90 miles an hour right in the pocket.
Right
Beat,
down
Bam!
the pipe.
beat, swing, keep the count, make them throw more pitches
Exactly.
and shit, and maybe draw a walk or some crap, and then you never know what happens. So
Scott, did you say you might be going to a captain's game soon?
I don't know. I will see about Friday, possibly. I've been invited to it, but I have to. My schedule plays out. I may be able to make it. I think it's sweet, so I might go up there. And since I live so close, and I might sweep myself at the suite for an inning or two, and I might have to disappear. That's how that kind of works.
We might be getting some coverage from you at the captain's game.
Sure, if I'm there, I will cover.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah.
Very
That's
cool.
how
We
that
got something to
works
look
and
forward
stuff. Yeah,
to.
for sure. And how about our Cleveland Cavaliers? Kenny Atkinson about to become our next head coach.
Yeah.
So,
Applause.
What? We forgot we were talking about hockey. Thank God
I'm
Florida
partying. I'm
winning.
so mad
not
I'm
Canada.
Not
The Canucks. I'm sorry, dudes. But
Canada.
sorry, Canucks. But it's great to see it. Captain United.
Is that the? That's not that.
What button is that, dude?
I don't know.
I don't know. That was weird.
Are those
It's a
Canadians?
wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Where's that?
Oh,
Is
you
that
want
one?
you want the voice?
No, that's not-
No,
Monster
go with the
voice?
voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure we went there. It was fun, but look again. It's awesome. What? But anyways, it's great to see the Stanley Cup still in the United States.
Oh yeah.
It is
Yeah.
great to see another team here winning it.
Go USA.
Okay, and not Pittsburgh.
All right. Well,
Sorry,
I think all great things must come to an end. So we had a
Yeah.
fun recap of the hockey game that we barely cared about, and we had a riveting conversation about baseball and the different theories of the game. So we'll have to come and get you some more coming up soon. Maybe we can get Scotty Tuhati, aka Red Hot Scott, to give you an update from the captain's game on Friday.
Sure. I got a lot of Browns info I've been saving up. So
Oh boy.
lots of good tidbits.
Yeah, we gotta wait a little bit for that.
Alrighty, you guys ready to do last words?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you got for the last word on the show?
Last words is strive as hard as you can, enjoy what you do, and just get there. You got it.
Treat everybody well, and it'll come back to you.
You guys got a
Rough.
dog in this fight? Because we do, and he's going to be chewing on your ass. Let's bark it out.
Yeah.
Ho, 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 ho.